Hello there. Well, welcome to the Blind Tinkerer's Workshop once again. The other day my Deoxit D5 came in from the Musician's Friend. It cost me $11.99 with free shipping. And we've got a socket here, the octal socket, on this B&K 606, which needs to be cleaned. And I've already sprayed these sockets when I first got the tube tester with this stuff here. But I'm almost out of this, and I'm going to get some CRC, which is a solvent like this that leaves no residue, to have that on hand, and then use the Deoxit D5 because that's got the lubricating properties and gets rid of the corrosions. So we've already sprayed this with this, so now we're going to clean the pins, and I'm going to show you an idea that I thought of, and maybe other people have thought of also, as to cleaning the pins. I've never done it before, but I figured it should work as long as this holds up. And by hold up, I mean these little brushes that I got from Harbor Freight. They came in a little package, and there's different size brushes here. Real fine brushes in the middle here. These two that are stuck together here. And what I'm going to do is to put the dip this into a little Deoxit, and then clean each particular tube pin. But before I do that, I'm going to put the tube in, and I'm not sure if it's a 6F6 or a 6X5. I've only got two octals, 2 or 3 octals. I got a total of 4 tubes in my inventory. And I don't remember which one I had to push the tube off to the side to make it read. So I want to find the tube that did that, and so I can duplicate the problem and then clean them. And then when I get that done, I want to clean the switches on this tube tester. But I may or may not do that today, because I got to lubricate. I did lubricate some of the little ball bearings or wheels that I showed you on another video. I managed to get a little oil underneath there onto them by way of a Q-tip. So I may not do that, but I want to get this done first. And I'll work on the old tube tester either on this video or on a future video when I get all the stuff done on this. So I'm going to set you up on a little tripod so we can get a closer look at this. And then I want to take a little bit of the Deoxit and put it into something and spray it in here so I don't waste it, and then I can just stick this in there. I have to find something to spray the Deoxit in. Here is my whopping tube inventory. It consists of a 6X5, that over there, 6H6, a 6F6, 6K6. Oh, 6K6, read that wrong. 2 6K6s, 6H6, 6X5, and a 6U5 that was originally in this, which is the wrong tube for that. Remember when I did that? Speaking of doing things, I still haven't added the BNC connector on this yet. I'm supposed to put one in here for the frequency counter because I've got the 10 picofarad capacitors a while back to do that, but I want to run some tests and see if it changes frequency. That's for another video. It's just that I need to take this outside to drill the hole because I don't want metal shavings all over the bench here. It could be hazardous when you're leaning on it. You get a metal sliver in your hand or something. We don't need that. So anyways, that's my tube inventory, folks. Isn't it amazing how many tubes I got? All right, so as I recall, it was the 6X5 because the ICO 950B uses it, and so does the ICO 147. So they both have the 6X5. So they both did the same thing when I tested it here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to set this up and put that 6X5 in there. These are for testing strips for diabetics. And I'm going to squirt a little bit of this deoxit in here, and then I'll dip those brushes into it, and then I'll keep this off to the side so I don't waste it, because you don't want to shoot it down into the tube pins. I don't want to have it not only wasted, but I don't want a whole bunch of that deoxit going down inside the tester. There's no need to waste it. Stuff is expensive, and you don't want to flood the tester with that either. So let me get you set up on a tripod so you can first see what this is doing, and then we'll proceed to clean the socket. Okay, first things first, we plug the tester in. That works better when you plug it in. I'll plug it in over here, the other side of the bench. And we got to look up the 6X5. Hang on, save time on the video. We'll stop in a minute. Tube is inserted. Now, first of all, we'll check for shorts. We've done this before, but we're going to do it anyways again. So C is set on 3, so we'll just return it back to 3 again. And I gotta cover this so I can see it. Go right around here twice. Okay, and back up at 3. Okay. Now we push for emission. Okay, now what happened before when I was moving it, it would cut out. Maybe it was the 6K6. I don't recall. It was one of these tubes that did it. Alright, so now that didn't cut out. So let's see, 6X5. C is brought to 5 now. From 3 to 5. Check the emission. Nope, that's not cutting out. Alright, so it was probably maybe the 6F6. I know there was some looseness in there, but what we're going to do is I'm going to clean the socket anyways on this. And we're going to unplug the tester right now. There is no on and off switch on this tester. It's just plug in, and that's it. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it was the 6X5 that was cutting out. So I'm going to commence to clean that socket right now. Make sure I'm still recording here. Yep. And in order to do that, first of all, we got to put a little deoxit in the container. I noticed on the bottom of this, inside the thing here, it's got adjust the spray. LM, low, medium, and high. Okay. It's weird the way that, I've never seen anything like this. Low, medium, and high. I have never in all my years have ever seen an adjustment on that. So let's do the, I don't even know if you're supposed to shake this up. Let's put some in the container here. Not much, just a little. Got a lot on my hands here. Don't need that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is test out the brush I want to use in the socket first. See if it, which one, that fits loose. Let's try this one. Gotta get my magnifying here. I can't see anything. Blind as a damn bat. Okay, that fits snug. Let me see if I can get, well, here's a bigger one, but I don't want to go too big. That might work. Let's go with that one. All right, so we go in here, we get some deoxid, and we'll clean the pins here. I don't knock it over here and lose my contact cleaner. There's pin 1. There's pin 2. There's pin 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time finding a hole here. There's not enough light here. I'm shading it with my body and big ugly head here. What I should really be doing is setting up the microscope camera, but I got to get this old tube tester off the bench so I'll have room for my laptop. Oh man, keep missing, can't find a damn hole. Okay, I went around a couple times here. Normally you just you do this with contact cleaner. But what I'm trying to do is not waste the deoxit. If it was cheap contact cleaner, I'd just spray down in there, but I don't really want to. Unbelievable. Damn, I can't even feel for the hole anymore. Okay. Now let's see. Alright. Now I'm going to go test the 6K6 also, but right now we're going to plug this back in. I gotta make sure this camera's recording because it hangs up an awful lot. Okay. Alright. I can only clean octal sockets. In other words, just this one now, because my tube inventory, I do not have a 9-pin tube. I do not have a 7-pin tube. I do not have a Loctal. So I can't. And of course, Compactrons, I don't even bother with those, but I don't even have any of those either. So I can't clean the 7-pin and the 9-pin until I get more tubes. But when that time comes, I have the smaller brushes that will get me into those socket pins. You see all the different sizes? And these appear to be bristle brushes. They're not wire. They seem to be bristle. And like I say, I got these at, am I in camera? I got these at Harbor Freight. They come on a little card with a plastic over them, you know, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brushes. So, all right, that's number 5. We'll bring it down to 3. And it's not loose. All right, now we'll go check the 6K6. Hang on a minute. 6K6, 6.3 on the heater, 41 on A, which is the shunt or the load, depends on what you want to call it. B is 6, C is 5, socket 3. Okay, we got 2 6K6 tubes here. Let's plug in one. It could have been the 6K6 that was giving me the readings, but hopefully I cleaned the pins. Hopefully that'll work. I really don't want to try to tighten the pins up, but a lot of times on tube testers, they get used, the sockets get used a lot, and the pins spread out. But if I have to tighten the pins up, I'm going to have to set up the microscope camera to do that, and I won't do that today. Okay, we're going to rotate for shorts first, bringing it back on to 5. I tested all these tubes before, and it's still fine. Okay, no cutouts. Alright, there's only one test on the 6K6. That tube is good. We'll do the other test, 6K6. Let that get warmed up here. It's a great little tester. An emission type, of course, but what little work I'm going to be doing compared to even what I did years ago, this will be fine. Am I still recording? Yeah. I have to just keep an eye on this camera because it's been hanging up a lot. I have 2 Kodak ZE-1s, and they both do it. And I thought it might be the cold, which it is most of the time, but not always. So let's, because the camera was warm and it's still hung up. Alright, let me see, what did I do? 6K6. 41, 6, and 5. Okay, 41, 6, and 5. No shorts. No intermittent, no cutout. So it looks like we solved the problem at a tube socket, although it didn't give me trouble when I did it before I cleaned them. But these, I like this idea. I come up with this. This probably other people have thought of it, but getting a set of brushes like this, you can get them at Harbor Freight. The other thing I was doing when I did have my wire core, flux core welder, is I had a set of the welding tip cleaners, and they were like little brushes too, or maybe even files. But I think the brushes would be better. And you just put yourself a little deoxid in here. You don't need much, just a little, and swish the brush around, and that sure saves spraying everything and using it all up. So that's all I can do. I can't do the rest of the sockets. I mean, I can, but I want to test the sockets, and I don't have the tubes. In time, I will have the tubes. Probably when I go to a ham radio auction in April, if I don't get outbidded by the deep pocket guys over there that buy the stuff. There's 3 or 4 guys that come over there, and they buy stuff cheap, and they sell it on eBay at high prices. So if I get those deep pocket guys over there, this old goat isn't going to stand a chance. And the problem with buying bulk used tubes is you're buying a cat in a bag, because you don't really know if they're good or junk poles or what. Naturally, they're all used. I don't have any problem with that. But in the past, I bought a whole bunch of 7-pin tubes, mostly 6 AU6s, and 3/4 of them were no good. So you don't always get a good deal when you buy a lot of used tubes, unknown, untested. Okay, so that's it. So I thought I'd make this video just to show you how I clean tube sockets in a tube tester by using these simple little cheap Harbor Freight brushes. And it worked out really well. If you need to tighten the pins on here, like I say, if I have to do it, which I don't think I will, it requires real good eyesight, and in my case I got to use the microscope camera, which I'm probably going to be using on some of these connections in this old tube tester, if need be. But I need room to get my laptop up here, and so I can only have one item on the bench besides the laptop. Right now I got too many things on the bench. Okay, so that concludes the video. I want to thank you for watching.
You have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good month, good year. We'll see you all on a video on a computer near you very soon. Good night.